2023 has been a rough year for the Ford Motor Company. CEO Jim Farley just recently took out a $9.2 billion loan from the US government to bail out its failing EV program. Sales of the Ford F150 pickup truck are still way below pre-pandemic levels, and Ford dealerships continue to price gouge customers with insane markups over MSRP on popular trucks and SUVs. Back in 2021, CEO Jim Farley said in an interview that Ford needs to go direct to consumer, move to fixed pricing, and dealers need to go the way of the dinosaur.
We have to go to a non-negotiated price, totally online, transparent, 100% pickup and delivery model.
Well, now in 2023, it turns out that wasn't entirely true. Farley continues to coddle the dealerships, completely forgetting that loyal Ford customers are the reason the brand is still around. Not all Ford dealerships take advantage of customers, and there are still some good ones out there to be found, but it seems like more and more are forgetting where their profits come from. Let's see what my mom thinks of these prices.
I think they're outrageous. How many people can actually afford these trucks? They're working man vehicles. The construction worker, the concrete man, or the builder.
Price gouging may be good for short-term profits, but the lifetime customer value is no longer there. The short-sighted dealers will end up having to close their doors, and the dealers who actually treat customers with respect will hopefully be the only ones that remain standing. Ford dealers have been price gouging customers, MSRPs keep going higher, and CEO Jim Farley has continued to fall back on his promises to keep these dealers in line. Despite bowing down to the wishes of the dealerships these past few years, Farley finally made some moves this past week that has dealers totally freaking out. At a recent Ford conference, Farley announced that they will finally be moving to fixed pricing, non-negotiation for all new vehicles, and revealed that the MSRP of all of their vehicles will start coming down as much as 10% in the near future.
Ford is in the best position to go into this change in pricing. We are going to see large price pressure on the traditional blue business. So as the inventories return, we're definitely going to see prices come down. 5 to 10% depending on the segment.
This comes as a shock to dealers who thought they could keep doing business as usual without any consequences. Last summer, Farley suggested that Ford move to a Tesla-like model of selling cars only online for fixed prices and only using dealerships as a local distribution and service center. Farley later told dealers he would not follow up on that plan after most of the dealers committed to selling EVs for no haggle prices. So as of right now, it looks like all the Ford dealerships are here to stay, and they won't be going anywhere in the near future. Despite all the dealership trouble at Ford, the Blue Oval is not the only brand dealing with the slump in truck sales. Ram has had one of the worst years in history, with trucks built all the way back in 2022 still sitting on dealer lots not selling. And Toyota has the opposite problem. The demand for their trucks and SUVs is really high, but they just can't build vehicles fast enough to meet that demand. Despite all the problems with increasing prices and slow sales, it's not all gloom and doom for buyers in 2023. Ford dealers have finally started lowering their prices and offering discounts on trucks that have been sitting on lots for months without selling, and it looks like their grip on high prices has started to loosen. I wanted to see for myself if any of these recent changes at Ford have already trickled down to the consumer, so I decided to go down to Ford in person and check it out, and what I saw completely left me in shock. In my last video, we were at a Ford dealership in Moab, Utah, and while it was just a small dealership, they had some pretty insane prices on some of the big trucks. So today in this video, we're going to see if with the recent news that Ford CEO put out of the potential for set prices, if the dealers have changed anything yet, or if they're still doing markups on some of these trucks in some of the bigger markets. So we're going to go to Ford, Ram, and Toyota to see how competitive the prices are, if any of them are coming down, and if some of them are still doing some really crazy things with markups. So I'm here at the Ford dealership that I've been to a few times in my previous videos, and I saw a bunch of stickers that looked like they were going to be discounts, and some of them are, but when I saw a few of the other stickers, I was actually really surprised at what I saw. So you have this 2023 Raptor right here, you've got a Bronco, and this is actually the first time I've seen a used Bronco at this dealership, and I don't know if that's a good sign or bad sign or what's going on, because I also have a Ford Bronco right there. We got the Super Duty with the what looks like a discount sticker as well. Then you have these Raptors over here. There's a brand new 2023 as well in a new like grayish color, like a gray blue. And then there's also another Raptor in white. When I saw these orange stickers with the tape and stuff around it, I thought they were discount stickers because a lot of the F-150s and stuff over here have the paper stickers with the orange tape around it. So I really thought it was going to be a discount. But when you look a little bit closer on these Raptors, 2023 F-150 Raptor, MSRP of $84,905, additional dealer markup of $5,090. Walking around all these car dealerships and looking at these insane prices just makes you really, really hungry. And I've actually got my lunch taken care of thanks to today's sponsor. When I'm out shooting YouTube videos all day or taking care of client work, it's really difficult to cook and eat healthy meals. That's why I'm so thankful to have Factor meals in my house. When I'm running around all day shooting videos, I never really have time or make time for healthy eating, and sometimes I tend to even run through a drive-thru, which just leaves me feeling tired at the end of the day. Factor actually helps me avoid that takeout burnout with delicious and nutritious, no-nonsense food that's ready really quickly. Factor's chef-prepared meals make it easy to eat well, so you never have to opt for something that just isn't good for you. Factor makes meeting your nutrition goals easier than ever by delivering fresh, never-frozen, dietitian-approved meals right to your doorstep. Their team of gourmet chefs creates each meal using only ingredients with integrity to help you feel your best all day long. These actually arrived at my doorstep just a few days after I ordered them, and you just take them out, pop them in the microwave for like 2 minutes, and it's ready to go. Now, if you want to try Factor for yourself, I highly recommend it, and they actually gave me a promo code for 50% off your first Factor box. Just head to factor75.com or click the link below in the description and use the code MOTORFEED50 to get 50% off your first Factor box. That's MOTORFEED50 to get 50% off of your first Factor box. Let's get back to the video. And then we go over here to this white one, and it gets even crazier. 2023 Raptor, white, MSRP of $85,235. The markup on this is even higher at $6,760. So just when I thought the markup craziness was over because of how long it's taking them to sell these trucks, they just keep on doing it. But it does look like there is a little bit of good news when it comes to the new Bronco. On this sticker for 2022, they actually list the Kelley Blue Book value at $57,939, and the price they're asking is only $50,995. And this one is used with about 7,400 miles, and I think the 50 is actually a really good price. The only thing is, I don't know if that Kelley Blue Book price on this red one is like the full retail of what it was brand new, or if that's like the used value on the market, which seems to be probably what I'm thinking because these values are still a little bit inflated. But that's one of the best prices on a new Bronco four-door that I've seen so far. But sometimes the prices of the hardtops can get a little bit crazy, so let's go take a look at that really quick. So it looks like this one just came into the dealership, but it is brand new, and it says for retail sale right here on the sticker. I don't know if you can see this or not, but it's a 2023 Badlands with the EcoBoost 2.7 liter and the auto transmission. And I mean, these are still really expensive, and this is one of the higher trim levels that you can get, like just below the Raptor and the Everglades. But the MSRP of this one is $65,915. But here's where I just saw the markup. It's right here in the window of $3,000, making it $68,915. Now, of course, we knew that those special vehicles would be marked up, but there are some Fords that you can get at a little bit of discount, and let me show you that right now. We got this whole entire row of what I like to call the baby Bronco, because it's not a full size like that one there, which, you know, it's not a real Bronco, you know what I mean. But we've got a nice white Bronco Sport here. Pretty clean, has some of the higher end features. The MSRP is $35,375, and they actually have a little bit of discount. It's not huge, but $1,380 for discount, bringing it down to $33,995. But what I want to check is this whole row of new F-150s and see what those little orange and white window stickers say. So it's a 2023 EcoBoost trimmer package. Total MSRP of $73,315. And then we check this little front sticker. So the MSRP of $73 right here, there is a discount of $27.50, bringing it down to $70,565. And it is nice to see some discounts happening on these trucks, especially the higher price ones like the trimmers and platinums and stuff like that. But let's see what my mom thinks of these prices. What do you think?
You really want to know?
Yes.
I think they're outrageous. How many people can actually afford these trucks? They're working man vehicles. The construction worker, the, you know, concrete man, or the builder. I mean, who can afford this?
And she's right. These are just ridiculously expensive, and they're basically just luxury vehicles at this point that probably won't even be seen at a job site. But I think you get the point with Ford. We've been through this before. So what I want to do next is my mom and I are going to go check out Ram and Toyota to see if they have better discounts than Ford does on their full-size trucks. All right, we made it here to Toyota, and as you can see, they got a couple of new Tundras. We got a little row of Tacomas right here. And over here on that row straight behind me, there's something really interesting, but we'll get to that in just a second. First, I want to check the prices of this new Tundra and see what they're charging for these Tacomas. So let's take a look at this really quick before we go to that back row. It's a 2023 Platinum Crew Max, and it looks like the MSRP is $69,959. And it does have the black grille instead of the chrome, which I do really prefer the black over the chrome. It just looks a lot cleaner. And then over here on this Tundra TRD 4x4, not a TRD Pro, it's just a regular TRD 4x4. I tried to look at it, but the price is not in there, and I thought it did have a window sticker at first, but the funny thing is someone just put the window sticker upside down, so I can't really see how much this TRD 4x4 is. But I will say, in the window of these two Tundras, there was no dealer markup stickers on these two Tundras right here, which is a good sign to see, because if you're going to pay 70 grand already for a new Tundra, at least you're getting it at MSRP. And my mom here found the row of Tacomas, and she's just kind of checking out prices on that. How much is this one?
MSRP base is $36,325. Total here with delivery processing is $40,277. I'd buy this.
Not bad for a new Tacoma.
No.
Still kind of pricey.
Yeah, it is a little bit pricey, but
yep. And it's a SR5 four-wheel drive, so that's nice. But the good news with these Toyotas is, again, I don't see any markups in these whatsoever. Obviously, it's not a Raptor, it's not a Bronco, but the Bronco's a regular vehicle at this point. So just there should be no markups on the Broncos anymore. There's plenty of used ones out there. But what I find interesting that I really never see at any of these Ford dealerships that I go to compared to Toyota is this right here. We got a Tundra TRD off-road 4x4. Looks like it's sold with a deposit of $2,000 to an actual customer name this time. We also have this 4Runner right here, sold to a customer with a deposit, actual customer name. And the reason I'm mentioning that this has an actual customer name is the last Toyota dealership I went to in Salt Lake City had a bunch of these sold signs on it, but it said it was sold to TMS or like Toyota Motor something. So it was like maybe another Toyota dealer bought it, or the dealership itself bought it, which didn't make any sense, and a lot of people left comments about that in there. But as we go down this row, this has a sold sign, this has a sold sign, this 4Runner has a sold sign. All of this entire row is all sold to customers. So Toyota is still really killing it in sales. They're not marking things over MSRP, and you can still get some sort of a decent price depending on what vehicle you buy. Obviously, the Tundras are going to be really expensive, but Toyota has the less expensive vehicles like the RAV4s and the 4Runners still available that you can buy. And let me show you this price on this Toyota. It's an SR5, white, definitely 4x4. SR5 Premium for $47,568, which is about the average price of most vehicles nowadays that you're gonna get. But if you want to spend 10 grand less, you can get a nice new RAV4, that's a hybrid, for $39,094. Let's go down to Ram and see what another American truck brand is doing right now. And I heard there's some pretty good deals on the Ram trucks. So we finally made it to the Ram dealership, and as you can see, they have a ton of inventory, and out of all of the manufacturers, they're having some of the most difficulty selling their trucks. Ford is having a struggle too, but Ram is just really in deep doo-doo. You've got an entire row of Rams all the way down here, about halfway down. You've got this entire row of heavy-duty trucks that goes as far as the eye can see all the way to the end, and there's even some at the back row. And if you run over to this side, right here, you've got an entire row of Ram trucks all the way to the back as far as the eye can see. And this is a row of used ones here, but we're talking about new trucks today. So one of the problems with Ram is they've never really ever outsold Ford, and a lot of people have always chose Ford over Ram, but Ram has come a long way, and their trucks have become very nice with a lot more features than they used to have. And the problem with that is they also got more expensive. And I'll show you what I'm talking about with these two behind me. We've got a Ram Laramie 1500 with the Hemi e-Torque V8. crew cab 4x4 for a crazy $75,650. And then you come over here to a Ram Rebel with also a different kind of front grille. Does have the Hemi e-torque V8, some different wheels and tires. And this one's a little bit less. 1500 Rebel crew cab 4x4, $67,235. Which is dropping into Ford F150 territory as well. But we do have some prices going a little bit lower on the lower trim levels, but this is really as cheap as it gets from what I've seen here so far. So we got this nice blue e-torque Ram, but there's a big difference with this one. This is a Bighorn crew cab 4x4, 2023, with the 5.7 liter V8 engine. And the big difference is there's no leather. It's a little bit more of a base trim level, so to speak. But even with the lower trim level and the cloth seats, it's $59,945. Now that is coming in at about $1,000 less than an equivalent F150 4x4 XLT. So I found a Ram TRX, which is basically the competitor to the Raptor. Well, let's see how much it is and if there's a markup here at Ram. Obviously, pretty beautiful Ram. We all know how wide it is. We don't have to go into all that, and you've seen everything before with the 6.2 liter supercharged Hemi. It's a little dusty though. It is a brand new 2023 with an MSRP of $98,585. And I took a walk around it. I looked in all the windows. I even looked down in the seats for any kind of dealer add-on sticker. And it looks like there is no dealer add-on to this as far as it being visible in the window. But at $98,000, that is really expensive. And this one has been sitting here for a while. I've been to this particular dealership a couple of times over the past 2 months. And that one's been here the whole time. They also have a brand new Ram Rebel here. And so my cousin actually bought one of these used, just a couple years old. And I think he paid like mid 40s for it. Just the MSRP of this Rebel is $69,465. However, they did add a lot of aftermarket parts to this. They've got method wheels, 35-inch tires. They did do like a leveling kit or something on it. It's actually $7,799 worth of aftermarket parts, bringing a $69,000 MSRP vehicle up to around $78,000, $77,000, which for a Ram Rebel is pretty crazy, especially since my cousin got one 2 years old with like 30,000 miles for the mid 40s. And after walking around this Ram lot, let me show you the cheapest one that I found. And it has a massive difference compared to these other two with the V8. So we got this white 1500 e-torque, pretty basic wheels and tires. It's a Bighorn crew cab 4x4 as well, but it has the 3.6 liter V6 engine. But that brings the price down to $56,000 instead of paying $59,000. So for about $3,000 less, you get into a V6. But here's where the prices get a little bit crazy on Ram, and then you start to realize why this entire row of heavy-duty Ram pickup trucks has been here for a very, very long time. These are very nice, capable trucks, especially if you're towing. It has the Cummins turbo diesel, 2500 heavy duty. However, it really gives me sticker shock. 2023 Night crew cab. I guess the Night is a certain kind of trim level. And I hope you can see it. There's pretty dark tint on it. Maybe that's why they call it Night. But this is a whopping $90,830, which at that price, you could grab one of those four Raptors if they didn't have that $5,000 to $7,000 markup. And these heavy duties just keep on going and going and going. And they even have a whole back row over here.